Hello and welcome to today's training. We're talking about the 7 stages of grieving a breakup. My name is Dina Bloss and I thank you for being here today. Why is this topic so important? Well, because we need to know where we are when you're going through a breakup, because if you don't understand the process, then sometimes you get stuck in one for a very long time, knowing that there may not be another place and this is where you need to stay. So today we're going to talk about the 7 stages. You may find that some places say there are less, some places they say there are more, but this will give you a good idea of where you are in the process, right, of grieving your breakup, and something to think about for your next step. Okay, so if you are watching this live or watching in the replay, please go ahead and put comments or your viewpoints and things like that, and be sure to have pen and paper handy so you can take notes. All right, and I will try to have, I will try to go step by step and indicate each step so you'll know. And so you can recognize if this is you or not. And if you see me looking over here, it's because my notes are over here. That way I don't lose my spot as well. All right, so you ready? Okay, so when we go through a breakup, especially a relationship that is toxic or bad for us, we are overwhelmed by the sudden sense of loss, regardless of how we were treated in the relationship or anything like that, because we were so used to having this relationship that for some reason, all of a sudden, now it's gone, right? This person that we had relied on, this person who was a part of our life, and all of a sudden that person is gone. So we're feeling overwhelmed, almost like this loss that comes over us, this despair, and we're not sure what is going on, right? So the following stages will help you anticipate kind of where you're going down the line, okay? So the first step is usually desperate for answers. So when you first are out of this relationship, you want to know why. You want to be able to clarify what has happened, right? You have to know. You must know what went wrong. You have to know what happened, when it happened, what the reasons were behind it, and you end up really sort of like desperate, trying to figure out where you're going to get these answers. You're not getting it from your ex, so you start to have maybe even debates with your friends and family or even your coworkers, because you're trying to figure out why this relationship ended, right? And it almost seems like not only are you trying to figure out the why, but you're almost trying to convince someone else, someone who's not in this relationship, why, trying to figure out the answers, almost like you're asking your ex. So if you've been in this situation, it's almost like, what happened? Why did you break up with me? Even though you may be talking to a friend, right? It's this heated emotional surge coming from you because you're trying to figure out where your answers are, why this happened. Even though deep down inside you already know, you kind of knew, but you're not ready to accept them. Okay? So that would be step 1. The second step is denial. Denial. This is not happening to me. It can't be true. No way. How did this happen, right? Your whole world has ended. It can't be. No, there's no way. This didn't happen to me, right? This was your last hope. This was the last hope for you. You're suffering so much because you can't admit to yourself that this is over. Not you. Not now. Not ever. Right? So you are in complete denial about what's going on, so much that you've postponed the fact that you're actually in the grieving process. So if you are in this stage, you are refusing to let go of someone who has already let go of you, unfortunately. Right? So if this is you, that's okay. All right. The next stage is bargaining. The next step is bargaining. And what does that mean? You will do anything to avoid accepting that it's over. You think that if you try harder, if you look different, if you are more attentive, right? If you do something different, then they will come back. If you become someone different, they will come back. You cling on to any hope of rekindling this relationship, no matter what. You are, again, I'm using the word desperate. You really want to be in this relationship, so you're going to do whatever it takes to get into this relationship, back into it, right? So you're bargaining. It's almost like, what about this? What about that? How about this? What if I did this? Right? That's bargaining. It's like you are trying to take on the full responsibility of saving this relationship, even when it's over. So if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, right? But it feels like if you do that, then you have some sort of control over the situation. That's bargaining, all right? The next one after that is relapse. So you actually are able to convince your ex to get back with you somehow. But what happens is, no matter your best efforts in this relapse step, is the fact that it doesn't work. Because guess why? You're the only one working at it. Your ex doesn't care, doesn't want to, right? You may come back together for a short period of time, and then it happens all over again. The relationship is exactly how it used to be, right? That's relapse. And actually, many women go through this over and over again because they've somehow convinced their ex that this is possible, that something is different. Even though the ex may want something different, they don't really feel like it's very different, right? So in this stage, it's possible for you to get back together, but at the same time, it doesn't work out because guess what? You both have not changed. Nothing has changed yet. So this is what we call the relapse phase, okay? The next one is anger. Now, there's so many beautiful things about anger. Anger is not a bad emotion, actually, not when it comes to breakups, because when you are finally angry, you are actually telling yourself that you matter. You are actually sick and tired of whatever it is, right? When you get angry, it's like, why are you not doing something and I'm doing all the work? Why, right? How about me? So anger can be very empowering. So we want to get to this stage. You want to get to the anger stage because it's going to be directed in the place that it needs to go. It's going to empower you, and it's going to be directed to your partner, the situation, yourself, right? But it is directed in the places that it needs to be. All right? Because when you are angry, you are actually finally saying to yourself, you know what? I'm done. I'm done. I have tried everything. I'm doing everything. I can't do it anymore, and I'm angry. And it's okay for you to be angry, right? It's okay to create that discomfort now for yourself, and now you're saying, you know, now I can't do this. I can't do this anymore, right? You deserve more. And I think a lot of women think that once they get to this stage, that something is wrong with them, that being angry is not something they should be. Well, yeah, you should be. You should be, especially if you've tried everything and it failed, or you tried to be the best you could be and it didn't work, right? It's okay to be angry, but remember, that's not where we're staying. We're not staying in the angry phase. And let's talk about the next one, right? Because remember, when you're angry, you actually, when you empower yourself, you actually tell yourself, what do I do now? Right? You're going to get angry, but then once that anger subsides, you're going to be like, now what do I do? And that comes to the sixth step, right? Which is the initial acceptance. So basically, now it's kind of like, think of you being angry and then you run out of steam and you go, whatever, I'm done. That is surrender. That is finally coming to the place where you are like, you know what? I'm done. I'm done. You recognize the fact that whatever was there is no longer. It cannot be. You cannot have it back. And a little part of you is like, I really don't want it back. So in this initial acceptance phase, you are definitely feeling better about yourself. You kind of relief has set in, and you want to know that this is finally over, right? This is the beginning stages of understanding that I guess we're not doing this again, right? And then it's done. And then the final step is called redirected hope. And what does that mean? It means that when you ended that relationship, when it was shattered, when it was broken, what actually happened was that you lost hope of having love, of having a relationship that you always wanted. That's really what happened when you broke up. It wasn't the fact that this person did anything. It wasn't the fact that you did anything. It was the fact that the hope that you had about being happy is gone, right? It's very jarring to know or feel that there is no more love there. That's really what we're all looking for. And when a relationship breaks up, whether good relationship, bad relationship, it really doesn't matter. But when it breaks up, it's not the relationship itself necessarily that we feel the loss of. It's hope. We have actually lost hope now. And that's where I think a lot of women get stuck, because they think the person, this ex of theirs, took away their hope of having happiness, which in fact it did not. Hope is always there. It's just a matter of rebuilding that hope again, redirecting it to where you want it to be now. Okay? So hope is always there, but you have to remember that it's there, one, but two is that you have control over your own hope. Nobody else can take that from you. Your last relationship did not work because it didn't work, and that's okay. You have to put yourself in that situation that says, okay, what can I learn from this, and how can I be better the next time, right? Because you don't want to repeat the cycle over and over again, because guess what? Your hopes are going to be dashed again. You have to remember and you have to learn from your relationships in order to do it differently next time. Now, all these seven stages doesn't mean that you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's not the process. You can go from 1 to 3 to 2 to 7 to... Remember, we are human beings with emotions. There's no switch for which one we feel, which one we don't feel, which one we don't want to feel. There's no such thing. What you do have to do is allow yourself to feel whatever it is in that moment, process it, understand it, accept it, and then see what emotion comes after that. Don't tell yourself, oh, I want to be happy today, and inside you're breaking, you're crying, you're sad. Don't do that to yourself, right? Honor how you're feeling right then in the moment. Which stage are you at now? Right here today. Okay, I'm in this phase, this is what's going to happen. All right, I accept that, and then you process. And then tomorrow you wake up and then you're 2 steps down and you're actually moving along really well. You feel great. You haven't talked to your ex, you haven't texted, blah, blah, blah. And then the day after that, all of a sudden you're back to step 1, right? We're yo-yos. We're yo-yos if we are unable to process how we are feeling during that breakup. And that's why there's a lot of going back and forth during the initial. And it could take days, months, years in order to grieve, right? Even though this is kind of similar to that of a death of grieving, it's not, because this person is still living, right? There's still a chance of interaction. There's still a chance of falling back, right? So you have to be stronger in this situation. Get help. If you are unable to come out of this, if you feel like you're still repeating the same cycles, get help, right? Because this is the thing. If you don't understand why you are doing this, why you are getting into these types of relationships, you need to break the pattern. You need to break the cycle that you're in, not just this one time, but for the next time and the next time. Remember, you are in control. But if you are not changing, then who you attract does not change. That's the biggest thing you have to understand. You are energetically attracting everybody in your life, whether it's romantic or not. Energetically, who you are inside, you are attracting. So if there's something inside of you that is hurt and sad and shamed and feeling guilty about something in your past, especially if you're in your childhood, you take that with you in your next relationship and your next relationship and your next relationship. No one on the outside can help you fix that except you. You can't go into a relationship thinking that someone can help you. You have to love yourself before you can love someone else. I know sometimes people think that's a cliche, but it's so true. It is so true. You know, you can't expect someone to save you. I tried that. Several times I tried that, but there was something inside of me that was broken. And until I realized that, I was still attracting somebody who I thought would save me. And they didn't. They didn't. We just went through the same cycle. I realized they couldn't save me, and then I was hurt and disappointed and blah, blah, blah. So then I stopped. I said, no more. No more for me. I need to save myself. I need to fix what's inside of me that is not working properly, and then I can find love. Because nobody on the outside can show me what love is to me. They can make me feel good for a little bit, but then they're going to disappoint me because there's still something inside of me that cannot accept whatever it is they're giving me. And remember, and this is something else I learned myself, because I was feeling a certain way on the inside, I attracted partners who felt the same way. So in essence, I wanted them to save me and they wanted me to save them, so it didn't work. It didn't work. So the personas people put on are just that, personas. We don't know what's going on in the inside energetically until we actually meet someone. So think about why you meet the people you meet. What are you trying to get from them? Because honestly, we don't go up to somebody, especially if we're healthy, and say, oh, come save me. We're like, hey, how can you compliment me? People who have been hurt badly don't do that. We actually are looking for someone to save us, to help us, to fix us. And we do that subconsciously. You don't sit there going, oh, I want you to fix me. We don't do that. We do it subconsciously. So that's what I do in my practice. I help women break those cycles, understand those cycles, why they do that. Because once you understand it and you can change your behavior, you won't go through the pain again. Not like this. Not ever again. Because you are different. You expect different things from your next partner. You can change. You can change these behaviors because they're all learned behaviors. What you're doing right now is what you've always done. You don't know how to be different. So if you really need help, please come talk to me and let's change those behaviors. The new year's coming around. It's a great time to enjoy the new year as a different person, as a better person, as the person you always have been. Okay? Yeah, Stacy. I'm reading comments. Sorry if I missed somebody's comment. Yeah, this is the thing. You have to understand your cycle before you can break it. You can't break something you don't understand, right? You may want to up here mentally. You know that something is wrong, but unless you truly understand what your cycle is, where it came from, and why you are holding on to it, you can't break it. It's not a switch. You can't just say, I want to break it and flip that switch. There actually has a lot of mindset work to do around that and emotional work around that. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it, right? But I'm here to shortcut that for you because I've been through it. It's what I do. It's what I've learned about. And I can help you with that. But it's really up to you whether you're ready to really do the work necessary to break that cycle, okay? If you have any questions, please put them in right now. I'm going to be wrapping up here in just a few minutes. I hope this was helpful. Remember, the replay will be here for you. Go ahead and, watch that over the next few days and let me know what your thoughts are if you didn't get a chance to watch it from the beginning. So does anybody have any more questions? And again, remember, the most important thing to understand is that these steps, phases, whatever you want to call them, are not chronological. You could go through them chronological, right? But you may not, and that's okay. You may be a yo-yo. You may go from 1 to 5 to 6 to 4 to, it doesn't matter as long as you're processing. Thank you, Anne. She says it's well worth getting help. Hard, tough to change, but good. Yeah, it is. It's not easy, but remember, you only have to do it once. Once you understand how to break your cycle, well, it's broken. You don't need to come back and do it again. These changes are permanent. So if you're ready to do that, it's really up to you. So what I was saying about the phases, you can have and live through each of them several times before you actually heal. But the thing is, you actually have to understand what it is you're going through, how you're going through it. Are you taking the steps necessary to move yourself through them until you get to number 7, where you can redirect the hope and actually find hope again in your future. And know that if you help yourself, that your future will be different, right? Remember, if you don't do anything different, the next person you date is going to be the same. Remember, you are energetically attracting these people. Energetically. Even mentally, you're telling yourself, I don't want this. Energetically, you will still attract that person. So you've got to do the inner work first in order to break the cycles, change your patterns, so your energy shifts with you, and then you can attract the person that you really want to spend the rest of your life with. So I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you so much for tuning in live. Thank you for watching the replay. And let me know if you have any questions in the comments. I will come back and answer them throughout the next few days. All right, take care. And if you have any comments for anybody else, please put them in as well. I love you all. Thank you so much for being here. Namaste, my friends. It was great doing this for you. Take care, and I'll see you in the group. All right, bye.